This is KGW News at Sunrise.
There was no notification to me, no notification that I'm aware of to any of my colleagues.
That was Mayor Ted Wheeler reacting to the Multnomah County Health Department's decision last week to give out drug paraphernalia. Now they're walking back that decision. And local vineyard owners shared their story on the Tunnel 5 fire.
Really built this from nothing, and to think that we might have lost it was really, really scary.
Fortunately, the property was spared. We'll hear how they got their customers and themselves to safety. Plus.
With the 22nd pick of the 2023 MLB draft, the Seattle Mariners select Cole Emerson.
Did you hear that? Neither did I.
But I like that it was a young man.
I know what he was trying to do there. He was trying to announce one of the Seattle Mariners draft picks that happened yesterday. So we're going to have more about Seattle's picks in the MLB draft. But really the big story this afternoon and this evening in Seattle, the Major League Baseball All-Star Game, right? The Northwest has the All-Star Game for the first time, and I believe it's 22 years. So Rodney Hill, I think some people may be traveling up there to Seattle to see that game.
And I have a little forecast graphic. I don't have it lined up right now to give it to you, but I can tell you that it will be mainly clear up there this evening at game time, and temperatures will be in the 60s. So that's really pleasant stuff. Keep in mind, a lot of people are traveling to Seattle from really hot, humid climates, so they're going to be really pleased. All right, we do have cloudy skies up top right now from the Wells Fargo building camera. 63 is the early morning number. Yesterday, we made a big deal out of some areas probably wouldn't see the sun. That was true. Today, we start seeing the sun most areas at noon, 66, and then we go on to be sunny, and we get up to about 80 degrees for a high. Back to you.
All right, we'll have more from Rod coming up here later, but right now we want to get to our top story this half hour. An armed robbery suspect is in custody this morning after a car chase in Clackamas County yesterday. So this all started at an auto shop on McLaughlin Boulevard near Milwaukee. Investigators say the suspect took off in a stolen pickup truck and hit several other cars in that parking lot. Officers arrested the suspect about 10 minutes later on Highway 224 after using spike strips to stop that truck. During the chase, a Milwaukee police officer was injured when they were hit by a Clackamas County sheriff's vehicle. The officer was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries.
Well, Multnomah County is scrapping the health department's plan to give out drug supplies to drug users.
County health officials are talking about arguing that smoking supplies like tinfoil and pipes would help them with people struggling with addiction and get them treatment. Critics, including Portland Mayor Ted Wheeler, pushed back, saying it would only make the crisis worse.
What the county should be doing is providing more treatment. That's what the public overwhelmingly says they want. That's what people on the streets say they overwhelmingly need. And instead, they're being offered up crack pipes and tinfoil.
Can you explain how this is intended to save lives? Because I think a lot of people see this and think this is just enabling the crisis.
Yeah. Well, what we know from decades of harm reduction research is that when we're able to build a bridge with people where they're at in terms of their drug use, we are able to build relationships with them and refer them to other services.
That last person you just saw there was the county's public health director. In a statement, Multnomah County Chair Jessica Vega-Peterson said the health department's plan did not go through the proper channels and it needs to be looked at further. Meanwhile, a bill that lawmakers hope will reduce the number of overdoses is on Tina Kotek's desk this morning. House Bill 2395 allows most businesses and other publicly accessible places to have Narcan on hand. It also ensures they won't be held liable for administering Narcan if they suspect someone is overdosing. The organization Project Red is already buying Narcan and giving it out for free to restaurants, bars, and other places.
More often than not, what I tell people is it's so much better to have Narcan and never need to use it than to need Narcan and not have it.
What's not clear in the new bill is if businesses will be able to get free or discounted Narcan from the state. Right now, the Oregon Health Authority says it can make bulk purchases of Narcan to provide it to organizations at a reduced cost, but ramping that up for private businesses would take more staff and funding.
Now to your morning rush. The NATO summit kicks off today in Lithuania. Top of mind, the war in Ukraine and that country's bid to join the coalition. The two-day gathering is off to a hot start with Turkey agreeing to back Sweden's bid to join. Finland also recently signed on, and Sweden's membership would put yet another European nation at odds with the Kremlin. Officials are calling it a 1,000-year flood. Multiple states, including Connecticut, Vermont, and New York, have declared states of emergencies. The torrential rain started over the weekend, causing flash flooding, washing out roads, and canceling flights all up and down the eastern seaboard. At least 50 people have been rescued so far, and one has died. Damage estimates put property losses in the billions of dollars. Disgraced sports doctor Larry Nassar was stabbed multiple times in the back and chest during a fight in a Florida prison. He's said to be in stable condition. Nassar became infamous after pleading guilty to sexually assaulting female gymnasts, including gold medal winning Olympians. More than 150 women and girls say they're among his victims. And this morning, the Biden administration announced a new plan to lower the number of deadly overdoses from the drug Tranq. Tranq is fentanyl cut with an animal sedative called xylazine. The White House wants to reduce deadly overdoses by 15% over 2 years. The plan includes outreach to users and investing in education and prevention. And finally this morning, the Powerball jackpot has now hit $725 million. There was no winner last night, so there's another drawing tomorrow. By the way, this is the 7th largest jackpot in the history of the Powerball lottery. And that's your Morning Rush.
Okay, we've been talking a lot about the Blazers for the past week or so, right? From Damian Lillard's request to be traded to watching some of the team's newer recruits play at Summer League in Vegas.
Blazers GM Joe Cronin addressed the recent talk about a possible Dame trade on Monday. KGW's Orlando Sanchez was there.
We got a little more insight into this breakup from the Blazers side of things. Cronin touched on wanting to do right by Lillard and send him to his preferred destination, Miami. But here's the issue. If Cronin isn't getting what's best for the Trailblazers, Cronin said they'll be patient, even if it takes months. Since Cronin was named GM, he said over and over the plan was to build a roster around Lillard that could win now. I asked Cronin if he felt he did everything he could to accomplish that.
I don't feel that I did everything because I wasn't able to get done what we had hoped to get done. I mean, the effort being there, which it was, that's one thing, but actually following through and getting the result is a whole nother. And to that extent, I do feel like I failed Dame.
Cronin said the team's top priority during free agency was signing forward Jeremy Grant. Mission accomplished. Grant's new deal is reportedly 5 years, $160 million. Guard Matisse Thybulle also signed a new contract with the Blazers, reportedly a 3-year deal, adding a defensive punch to the squad. Orlando Sanchez, KGW Sports.
By the way, we do have that full interview with Joe Cronin, as well as interviews with Jeremy Grant and Matisse Thybulle on our website. But we also wanted to hear from you this morning. We know there's a lot of support for Damian Lillard out there, but how about this take from Thomas? Thomas said it wasn't the Blazers failing Dame. He says Dame failed the Blazers by hogging the ball. I wanted him gone before last season. So just when you think everyone has Dame's back, I think it's important to know there are sometimes other opinions. We will continue to share your opinions on the Dame trade and other Blazers topics throughout the morning here on Sunrise. My goodness. Hey, not everyone's a Dame fan. What can you say?
Yeah, I guess not.
Wasn't it widely accepted he was hogging the ball last season?
Well,
he was hogging it because nobody else could shoot.
He has the best chance of scoring that basketball. So
I know.
Keep shooting, Dame. What do you have for us weather-wise,
Let's
Rodney?
start off with the look across the country. Of course, the big story nationally weather-wise has been all the flooding up here in parts of New York State and up into New England, what they were calling. I think this is a correct statement. When you hear this say, it's a 1,000-year flood, which all of a sudden, we're hearing that all the time. How many 1,000-year floods can there be, right? I think you're saying if you targeted that out for site-specific areas, that's only going to happen. Obviously, we're getting that type of flooding in various areas more and more frequently, but I think they're referring to in any one little point on the map. that would be the percentage of that happening. We have 3 to 5 inches of rain already coming down with what you're seeing moving from Oklahoma across the Red River into North Texas. Right now, heavy rain and flooding seems to be the main threat there. We are nice and quiet. We had storms at this time yesterday, you may recall, but no storm chance across our area today. Now we are seeing cloudiness again, low clouds, marine deck at the coast, and also those clouds have made it inland. Of course, some areas never saw the sun yesterday. I mentioned earlier in the show, Portland only made it to 72. We did put a trace of moisture, a little bit of mist in the air in the record book. So July, officially a trace. You know, some Julys, that's all you get. Here's a look at the clouds from the Wells Fargo building this morning. So you're starting your day off, cloudy skies, comfortable weather, 63, winds are light. Once again, Salem, that weather site is down. I did call the Weather Service today. They tell me that is the responsibility of the FAA. They're waiting for the FAA to get it fixed. They don't know when that's going to be. That's where the slogan, "It's a government operation," comes from. 59 up in Astoria, 64 degrees in the Dow. So sorry, I know that site's been down going back to last week. We have cloudiness on Futurecast this morning. Yesterday, we made a big deal of saying maybe some areas never clear. We were right. Today, we think most areas start to see the sun at noon. This will be the stubborn pocket, Clackamas County, maybe up into Kelso Longview, but most of you are expected to get some sunshine today. Temperatures will be warming up with that afternoon sun. This shows 82 in Salem, light winds. Sunshine coming to Portland, Vancouver, and eventually partly cloudy skies up in Cowlitz County, Longview 74. So 80 today, morning clouds again tomorrow, 77, and then that's it. It all goes sunny. And I still have us 94 on Saturday, 92 on Sunday, and then cooling off into Monday, and that's your forecast.